everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and T-Roy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. How are you?
Are you very sick today?
No, it's this fucking smoke, man.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal out there today.
Yeah.
Well over 200 on the air quality index for whatever that means.
I saw that. You sent me that, I don't know, app or screen of whatever. And it was like
airquality.gov or whatever.
And I was like, cause isn't it like 50 where you're not supposed to go outside or whatever? Yeah,
that's you get a warrant, like a advisory or a warning or whatever.
Yeah.
50. And we thought it was bad the other day when it was a 147. It was over 200 today.
Yeah. It was crazy too, because I was looking outside and there, there's a look when it's just gloomy, when it's cloudy.
Yeah.
There's a look. This looked like a sunny day, like all day, just looked like a sunny day. But then when you looked up, it was just gray, but it wasn't clouds. It's
just smoke.
It's just smoke.
Yeah.
Do you smell it?
I do. Yeah,
it
smells like burning plastic almost.
Yeah, I don't smell it.
I wish it was like pot farms that were burning. That would be way better.
Or poppy seeds.
That'd be fine too.
Yeah, get everyone high as shit on heroin.
That'd be good.
I don't know how that works. Do you just smoke poppy seeds and
I
get
don't
high?
think that's how it works.
Damn.
No.
Yeah, I know you'll fail a drug test though if you go eat a poppy seed bagel. You can fuck up a drug test.
Yeah.
So
allegedly.
Yeah, I've heard that happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
probably gonna eat a lot of poppy seed bagels.
I didn't heed the warning, and I went out there while you were taking a little nappy after work.
Yeah.
I started doing some weeding out there, and I'm still sweating. I took another shower, and I'm just fucking drenched. So I don't know. Maybe
take a cold shower.
No.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You gotta lower that core temperature.
Yeah.
Take a cold shower to cool your body down.
I hear the cold shower in the morning, even just 2 minutes or a minute, is like so good for you.
Yeah. They say even if you take a hot
do it.
shower that lasts like minute or 30 seconds, you just crank it cold as shit.
Really?
It's supposed to be one of those things that really changes things for you.
I remember Derek showing me, like, I was sweating something, and was like, God, I can't cool down. He's like, take an ice cube and put it on your wrist, just hold it between your wrists, and that'll quickly cool your body temp down. And that works great if you're, it'd
overheating.
It would happen to me when I had to, and I don't know if it was nerves or what, but that would happen to me a lot if I was going to like a wedding and I'd put a suit on and, stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just sweating and I'm not doing anything. It's not like I went for a jog before I put my suit on, but sure as shit, man. Put that ice cube between the wrists.
Well, there you go. You're learning today.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. It's great. So how was your day other than that?
Oh, they're not too bad, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another day.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a full day.
Good for you.
To be honest with you, I knocked a lot of shit out and made some phone calls that I had to make. Talked to Mark Ridley for a while.
Excellent.
Yeah, good dude. And, Raj wants to play there again. And it's so funny. It's like, well, I've already got an Indian playing there on this team.
My quota is full.
And I'm like, there's more than one Indian out there. And he wasn't being like, the fuck I will have another brown guy. He knows who Raj is. But it was just kind of funny. It's like the shit they have to deal with. Like, you would never say that. Like, I've already got too many white comics, but it's like, I don't know what the mix is to make it work. I'm like, well, with a little promotion from our show and his promotion, we should do fine, But yeah. And talked to Bill Bouchard too.
Oh, how is Bill?
He's doing good. I asked Ridley for his number. He texted it to me, and so I texted Bill and was just like, "Hey, man, you should come on the show," and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Yeah, what's the occasion?" I'm like, "Nothing."
Why not?
I said I'm going to be going to Arizona for a week, and a couple weekends here. Like on the 7th, July 7th. So. Heads up, that's coming up. I'm gonna be gone for a little bit, and then but after that, man, we should have you in.
He was, Sky took that class, Comedy 101 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
there, and he was her teacher.
Yeah,
he teaches that class.
He's been doing that for years and years and years. People love it. It's great. So I know E took that course, and Skylar, and tons of people.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Good stuff. So
excellent. Look forward to it.
Yeah, it should be fun. A lot going on in the news.
Thank God.
Lefties are freaking out today.
Why?
Well, I mean,
because today's left day, and then tomorrow will be right day. That's how it works.
Right. And I don't know. Lefty politicians, pundits, of course, they're all, getting to the podium and screaming their heads off.
Squawking.
The Supreme Court overturned affirmative action for Harvard and North Carolina, maybe.
Okay.
Schools where people brought lawsuits going like, hey, man, I score way higher than these people and I can't get in. This is bullshit just because of the color of my skin. It's always been a weird one, that whole affirmative action thing.
Yeah.
Suppose, again, the road to hell.
Exactly. Right. I mean, yes, but at what cost?
Right.
And it's like anything else. So if you just have a quota to fill and you're not really looking at
Right.
person or the candidate individually,
Yeah.
then nothing good can come of it.
I know. It's a weird thing where it's like, yeah, I got to get some women in here, or I got to get some brown people or black people in here, and it just feels weird. Plus, it leads to people going, you look at a black guy working in some job and you can't help sometimes but go, is he here to meet some quota? Which is sad.
It is sad.
That's a shitty thing, for people to have to go through, and they know that.
Did he take a 50-year-old white guy's job?
Yeah, right. So leftists,
I mean, I get that it was the concept, especially like take Detroit Public Schools. Just a shit system.
Yeah.
I mean, just a terrible school system across the board.
Yeah.
So there are good students. There's people that want to try and want to excel, and I'm not making excuses for them, but the infrastructure is not really there for them to be educated at the level that some of these prep schools.
That's very
around.
woke of you to even say that,
Well, I mean,
which is
but
great.
That's a fact, and that was sort of the concept of why. Okay, so let's just say, and I don't even know the numbers are arbitrary, but your ACT scores or whatever. So a white kid that comes out of here and he got a 700 on his, but the black kid that came out of the worst school in Detroit and he got a 600.
Yeah.
So if you want to say, well, that kid's 600 is actually kind of better than this white guy's 700,
Right.
Because of the situations. So that's kind of the point of where it's not really apples to apples. So again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So
Right.
to give these guys, because if you just do it on their face, well, they would never get an opportunity. It doesn't mean that they're not capable. It's just that different circumstances. So,
And what do you do when you got a kid that gets a 700 and a white guy that gets a 700? And then it's like, well, let's hire the black guy. And is that
but the difference
fair?
difference too is if it's just a black kid that comes out of the same school as the white kid,
Right.
then what?
Right.
So like I said, I can see the theory behind it in some level to try and level the playing field across the board to give some of these people an opportunity that may not be able to get it
Right.
Otherwise. But again, it's just
not,
a failed system.
It's
if
not
you're going
even,
strictly on race,
right,
you failed from the beginning.
Well, this particular lawsuit, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, isn't even about white people. It's Asians that are all fucking pissed off because they're not getting into MIT or Harvard or Princeton because some quota needs to be met. And it's like, we got too many Asians. That on its face stinks. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this is not how this is supposed to operate, merit-based. But then when you take, it's not lost on us. My privilege and your privilege is not lost on either of us about where we grew up and how we grew up. We never had to walk through a neighborhood riddled with gangs to get to school.
No, just to get drugs.
Right. We would only show up there to get drugs. So anyways, the Supreme Court decision released struck down the race-based admission policies of Harvard and the University of North Carolina in a 6-3 decision. I wonder who the 3 were and who the 6 were. I can guess.
But they don't, they make that public, don't they? What their votes are?
Yeah.
Right.
But
of course,
the balance of the court. And they're claiming this is equal protection clause of the 14th Amendment. Nancy Pelosi said the ruling diminished hard-fought progress for racial justice. Chief Justice Roberts' majority opinion does violence to justice and fairness in America. In contrast, Justice Jackson's powerful dissent is inspiring to us as we continue to fight to widen the path to success for all Americans. Chuck Schumer said the decision was misguided. The Supreme Court ruling has put a giant roadblock in our country's march for racial justice. Consequences of this decision will be felt immediately and across the country, as students of color will face an admission cycle next year with fewer opportunities to attend the same colleges and universities their parents and older siblings attended. Barack Obama said the ruling would hamper minorities' opportunities. Affirmative action was never a complete answer in the drive towards a more just society, but for generations of students who had been systemically excluded from most of America's key institutions, it gave us a chance to show we more than deserved a seat at the table. In the wake of the court's decision, it's time to redouble our effort. So take to the streets, I guess. The problem is, everyone I just mentioned, it's hard to even, and I would say this on the right too, it's hard to know what the truth is or reality is, because it's like, oh, my team decided this, so that's that. Now I need to fight for what my team said. It becomes a, elephant versus donkey, L versus R, blue versus red, and it's just that across the board. Exactly. Instead of just regular people going, having a conversation about what's best for civilization. Right. And it very, the fact is they need to do something about the schools, and they don't. They're fully willing to send $150 billion to a foreign country to help them in any way possible. I'm talking about Ukraine here. But you know what $150 billion would do as an influx of cash to Baltimore, to Detroit, to some of these schools all over Chicago that are consistently failing on every level? I mean, it is an embarrassment of epic proportions when you look at the reading and math levels of these kids that are graduating high school and read at a second grade level. Right. Like 0 is the percentage of Detroit students who can read at regular grade level. Like 0. And I don't think it's much different for Baltimore. Might be 13% in Chicago. Like, they're atrocious numbers. Yeah. And I don't know what they were when we were kids. My guess is, like, everybody knew how to fucking read. Some of us applied ourselves more than others, and I would say we were the least
school
applying.
System was still terrible. I don't know that it's worse now than it was before.
I don't know. Well, maybe. You might be right that, like, Detroit public schools were always garbage. I don't know, man. I don't know. Donna Brazile, of course, lefty. I kind of like Donna Brazile. She sort of tries to play down the middle a little bit, even though she's hardcore left. Said the justices supported the decision are whitewashing the Constitution. I am shocked by the fact that in the majority opinion, they basically whitewashed the Constitution in a way that basically says we were right all along. The 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause would guarantee us a colorblind society. And now the most effective tool, an affirmative tool, to eliminate barriers, a tool that would give us opportunity, is now weakened. Who cares what Al Sharpton says?
Is an HBCU racist?
No. Well, if you look at HBCUs, the argument that, hey, fuckers, you wouldn't let us into your major universities, so we built our own. There's something to that. Sure. Trump gave them a shitload of money into perpetuity, which I think is fine, which is great. Yep.
Just on its face.
Yeah. So I looked. I wanted to get a rounder thought on this stuff. I don't want to just fall on one side and be like, yeah, this is bullshit or whatever. What are the disadvantages of affirmative action when you're talking about the workplace? And I read this story. I'll read some of it to you. Job qualifications. A disadvantage is that the program often compels employers to potentially overlook highly qualified applicants in favor of only marginalized qualified applicants who meet affirmative action standards. Although affirmative action hires are qualified for the position, in some cases, they're not the most qualified of all applicants. This could possibly lead to high turnover if the position turns out to be a poor fit for the applicant and they fail to perform job duties optimally. We see this a lot, T, where even in schools, where someone may have been better served going to 2-year college to kind of make up for what the lack of education they got at some shitty public school in an inner city.
Yeah.
Where if
Well,
you
not to mention not paying full tuition rates for those 2 years of education.
True.
Everybody should go to
Agreed.
community college and get that 2 years under their belt.
Exactly.
And save about $50,000.
But it's not, if you put someone in a job they're not qualified for and then they struggle the whole time.
You're also setting them up to
who
fail.
wins? Yeah.
You're setting them up to fail. You're setting the company to fail, the department to fail.
Yeah. All with good intentions.
Right. And then you're putting yourself in a position to where now when they don't succeed in their job, you're in a position to where if you fire them, it's going to be racist to fire them, which is ironic because it was racist when you hired them.
Great point.
But so your hands are kind of tied. It's a very systemic problem.
Right.
And not to say
it's
that
called
everybody
reverse discrimination. That's what people bitch about is the reverse
Fair.
discrimination aspect of it.
Yep.
Where you're by trying to eliminate
doing
discrimination.
doing anything based on race is racist,
Right.
On its face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. And
because anytime you're elevating someone based on race, you're holding someone else down. Insert race here. It doesn't matter which way that goes.
right.
So just now it's fine because it's tipping the scales the other way. We had it too good for too long. All those bullshit excuses.
Right.
And there's some validity to that. I understand. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't. Two wrongs also don't make a right.
Right.
So the road to hell is paved with good intentions, trying to do the right thing, but there is no right answer here.
Yeah.
So will it work a lot of the time? Yes, it will. Will it fail a good part of the time too?
Right.
Yes, it will.
Right. Plus, you run into, and I've talked to people about this that I trust and who were in law school, for instance, and knew that this kid over here, also in law school, was kind of getting microwaved through. Like they didn't want to fail the black kid, whether he was up to the task or not, and that doesn't do him any favors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How about if that's your doctor? If that's your heart surgeon?
Right.
Seriously, think about it. Think about the long-term effects of these decisions.
Right. It's terrifying, and they're trying to do that. They're trying to have quota. Like, if you want to have quotas in the education system, it's like, all right, I guess it'll all come out in the wash. Yeah. Who's qualified, who's not. But when you start talking about, oh yeah, we need equity in the medical industry. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. And the last thing you want to do is go to a doctor and take a look at him because of his skin color, for God's sakes, and say, is this the best possible doctor they could have here that's helping me with something? Or is this some minority hire? Is it checking a box? Yeah. Is this person hired because they're part of the LGBTQ community or because they're the most qualified person? Now, President Soup today was arguing, hey, look, there's a pool of people that are all qualified to get into this university. And we're just, historically, we're just handpicked. It's not like they pick people who were absolutely unqualified and just throwing them in the group. They were all qualified, and you could only take so many, so we would take more minorities. And again, your reverse discrimination exists there. And if you want to do this and play this out long term,
then why don't you do it blindly?
Yeah.
If that's what it's going to be, then just do it randomly.
Right.
Don't pick it for any other reason.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a minimum. So sure, you have to have a minimum. And again, the numbers don't. I'm going to get killed over this because I don't know what the stupid numbers are. But the minimum, you have to have a 650 SAT to get in. But there's a million people that have 800, 900 SATs that are overqualified essentially. Mm-hmm. But this guy squeaks in with a 650, 651.
Right.
Sure. Is he qualified? Yes. Is he anywhere near the most qualified? I don't know. But again, that's where the balance of, you talk about the schools, so it's not, when you get into a college atmosphere, university, it sort of wipes the slate clean. Now, not totally, because you have to have a base knowledge to be able to start at that level and run.
Right.
So if you're not there, you're behind the eight ball. You're going to be screwed all the way along.
Yeah.
But like the No Child Left Behind is just disaster.
Yeah.
You're only as smart as the dumbest kid in your class.
Right.
Basically, is
Right.
what happened there.
And that's infuriating.
We just dumbed down the entire country.
Right.
And so I don't know that. I mean, these kids I see now, like a 4.0 is like a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a 4.4 or a 4, I didn't even know it was possible.
I didn't either.
My sister was valedictorian. She was a 4.0.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get higher than a 4.0 then. You know,
right.
seriously. And she might not have been valedictorian, but anyway, she had. I don't think you could. If you could get over a 4.0, she fucking would have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But she.
And she's a competent doctor now.
Yeah. Well, exactly. But now that you can do more, but can you do that in inner city schools? Is that possible? Do they have all these AP programs, in
Right.
Detroit public schools and Baltimore public schools?
Right.
No, they just have basic bullshit education and No Child Left Behind. So then we got to wait for fucking schmo over here that can't, count to 20 without taking his shoes off. and we can't keep moving on until he gets this concept.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And they used to just pluck that kid out of class.
Hey, we got
hold
another
him
room
back
over here for you.
Yeah,
we got a tower over here for you, pal.
Here's your helmet, sir. And have a seat. We'll see you on the playground at recess.
Exactly. There'll be a new bus coming by tomorrow.
And if you think about it, if you want to do affirmative action, right? If you want to do it in the workplace and to take it to an absurd level, if you want to do it in schools and you want to do it in the workplace and blah, 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 then how would that look in pro sports? If you go, we don't have any Jews in the NFL, so we're going to plug that in. We don't have any trans people.
We don't have enough white
Major
guys
League
in the
Baseball.
defensive backfields.
Right, right. That's absurd. You would never do that. That's completely merit-based, and there's no way to argue about that. There's no such thing on an NBA roster as an equity hire or
diversity,
a diversity
inclusion.
hire. No, and nobody has a problem with it. You don't look at it and go, black people make up 10% of the population in this country, and they make up 90% of the NBA. How do we get that right? How do we get more white people? Like, you'd be like, no, I do not want diversity hires and bring in a bunch of fucking white people.
It's not that absurd of an analogy, really.
Yeah, but it's like, why is that untouchable? Why is that? I mean, and they're almost trying. I mean, every NFL team now, for the most part, has female coaches. And you look at them and you go, okay, there was 0 3 years ago, and now there's 100?
Yeah.
Like, are you telling me, like, it's not easy to work up the ranks to become a position coach in the NFL?
Yeah. You want to do them the strength and conditioning and things like that.
Yeah.
Your nutritionist, things like that. You want them on the roster, fine.
And but a quarterback's coach? I'm sorry. And maybe it'll work out and they're fucking amazing coaches. Maybe there's a different thing, but it does seem weird.
Well, to that point that was a questionable ding, but that's fine. No, it's okay.
That's why I gave it a light one.
Yep.
I did. I don't want our ADD listeners freaking out.
They have women's football leagues. As comical as it is, they have them.
Yeah.
Right. And so to be a quarterback's coach, let's just say, if there's a guy that's never been a quarterback, just knows the game, understands it, because there's coaches out there that have never played, little league, whatever, high school, but never on any real level. Like that doesn't count. That's just understanding the basics of the game. At that level, it's so far advanced. It's like grad school to kindergarten.
Yeah.
But I mean, if a guy that's never played the position can coach that, well, why couldn't a woman? If it's just the knowledge of the game and the fundamentals and of the physics of it, things like that, sure, it's possible.
And was that going on? And it's a legitimate question. I don't know.
Yeah, how they all got to the NFL
overnight
is that's because it's not like there's a farm system. It's not like they've been coming up.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Can this girl, and if she can, God bless her, can this woman who's now an assistant quarterbacks coach for X team, was she at a peewee level working and then moved up to the high school level, proved herself, and then got into a small college and was so good and so perfect for the role that
just
she got
jumped off
called
the page.
up.
Just jumped off the tape. Had to.
Yeah.
The NFL had to scoop her up.
Right.
Or, is that taking somebody's job that's worked their entire life to get to this point?
Right.
That may or may not be more qualified.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Well, because all of a sudden it went from
Yes.
1 to 100.
Right.
And I will say, in fairness, when we saw like women as line judges and sidelines and back judges and all that kind of stuff, my immediate thought was, this is going to be like the strike season when the officials went on strike, and it seemed like every single game we watched, the game is so fast that you take just general college, junior college refs, throw them on an NFL field, and they cannot keep up with the action. They're just too fast.
It's true.
Too big, too strong, too fast. And so when I saw an influx of women, I was like, this is going to be a real problem. And in fairness to them, I have not seen a real problem.
I haven't seen an issue yet.
I haven't seen it where it's like, of course the woman made that call.
Right.
Yeah. And you and I have talked about it on game days, long, off the air.
Oh,
like,
yeah, big time.
Hey, she's
The joke of throwing a flag for something you did last week.
Yeah. Exactly.
I didn't forget.
Right. Yeah. Or, it's that time of the month, so this Sunday's going to be a real problem. Yeah. She's flagging everybody. You know, she's pissed at the crowd.
Throw somebody for holding, and they turn and go, what? The fuck you? You're out of here.
You're out of the game.
Tossing people out of the game.
Yeah. So anyways, expect the right to celebrate this. Expect the left to go nuts. My thought is you will probably get a situation where now we're going to start hearing people talking about needing to take over the court, that the court is not a real court.
Of course.
And what do they call it?
To expand it to...
we need to expand the court and,
there's a term.
in other words, just put 4 lefty justices on there because we're in power.
Again, be careful what you wish for, right?
100% be careful what you wish for. Because you're not always going to be in power. And the next team that comes in power is going to use that precedent to go.
And these judges are going to get younger and younger because it's a lifetime appointment.
100%.
How about we start talking about possible term limits on these things?
Yeah.
I don't know. I take real issue with the fact that there are conservative or liberal judges. On its face, that is ludicrous.
Yeah.
The letter of the law should be the only deciding
the Constitution.
factor. The Constitution. They're the only deciding factor, not your interpretation of things based on your personal beliefs.
Yeah.
So I have a real problem with people's personal ideologies being influenced on that, because that's the highest court in the land. And you are making lifetime decisions, essentially, for everyone. And that's not necessarily,
should be taken lightly.
Should not be taken lightly. And decisions, you can justify the decisions you make on a legal basis, but you're justifying the decision you made on a legal basis because of your beliefs.
Yeah.
But you're making your decision that way, and you're finding the evidence to defend that.
Right.
Right? Because the same argument, the same defense could be made for the exact opposite opinion.
Right.
On just about every decision out there.
Sure.
And it shouldn't be. It should be crystal clear.
And we never used to really know their names. Not that you and I would have been paying much attention to that stuff. But I don't like it when you hear like, oh, this justice's wife is donating to this political campaign. It's like, I don't want to know. I don't think they should be just.
This justice has been getting vacations and shit paid for by donors, things like that.
Right. And I like when you saw Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg going on vacation all the time with what's his name, who recently passed, who's an absolute right winger, and she's a super lib. Yeah. They were best friends and vacationed everywhere together. I love that.
As it should be.
I love that they saw each other as people and didn't, it's like, hey, we're going to disagree on a lot of rulings, but that's how it should be with all of us in society. I don't want to know much about these people, but at the same time, I don't know if you've seen him. You probably have, but there's that judge. I want to say he's
Judy?
Not Judy, no. But he's online. There's a lot of clips of him all the time.
In like Jersey or something like that?
Yeah, like
kind of older white guy, white hair.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I want to say he's in Maryland or
I think you're right.
somewhere in the Northeast.
Yes,
and
I've seen. He's got that kind of goofy bailiff dude. That's
exactly.
I've absolutely seen that.
And I love that. That he, takes into, like, he has the time and puts in the time. It's hard to do when you've got a docket that's 10 miles long to give people individual time. But I love seeing him go, the law was broken. You were speeding. And that's a fine of X, and it's a suspension of your license or whatever, or it's this many points.
Right.
And he goes, well, what happened here? And they go, my child was very sick. I had to take her to the hospital. And if I was late for work, X was going to happen if I missed this meeting and blah, blah. And he takes that into account. And he goes, you've been through enough, ma'am. I'm throwing this out. And he throws out a lot of them. And it's like, if you're a conservative, like Boger was, like Jay, he would be like, well, the letter of the law says this, and you need to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there's extenuating circumstances in a lot of these cases.
Very true.
Where it's like another human can look at you with some compassion, and that would make me more of a leftist judge. But when I was a cop for a day, and I remember my partner Crack looked over at me. He goes, "What should we do?" I go, "Fucking let him go, man. Just let him go." I felt bad for the kid.
Yeah,
he's got a list of warrants and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, today's his lucky day, man. I'd make a shitty judge because I'd want to rule in like, I'm giving someone the benefit of the doubt. I want to give him, a chance. He's not out killing people. He didn't rob an old lady. He's driving with a suspended license, or he's got his windows are tinted too much, and like, fuck, that could be a train wreck for someone.
How does that empathy work with your what the fuck were we just talking about? The
affirmative action.
Affirmative action. Yeah, it was brain fart in the name.
Yeah.
So why doesn't that empathy translate into the affirmative action side of that?
Well, because I feel like no one's getting fucked over if I let this kid go because he's got expired plates, right? He didn't.
Depends on what his record is.
Yeah, right. And if he's got an extensive record for robbery and assaults, that's different. But when you're talking about someone who could barely put food on his table, he's driving a hunk of shit car that barely drives, and he doesn't have his tabs renewed because that's $160 that he just doesn't have. That's different than the affirmative action thing says, you get in over this person because of the color of your skin. That just feels wrong. Whether it's intentioned well or right. It's like, well, there's a victim in this.
That's where they swung and missed.
Right.
Because it should have been situationally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That the point of it was to give people the opportunity that may not necessarily have that because of circumstances.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of time that is directly correlated to the color of their skin, of where they grew up in the school districts and things like that.
Yep.
But that was kind of the point of it, I think. But it's very difficult to go through every single case,
right?
And hear a backstory and why you're fucking living with impossible, exactly.
Yeah.
So to streamline it, they kind of made it that way. Again, it's the road to hell,
yeah,
and it's a swing and a miss. Mm-hmm. But that was the point of it,
right?
That was the intention of it. It just doesn't necessarily work out that way, and it does in a lot of situations, but it doesn't a lot of times
until you fix what's going on in those inner cities. You are going to forever have this problem. These people are going to grow up and they're not going to have the opportunities that people who grew up in safer neighborhoods had. So until you decide to tackle, when you talk about root causes, like that's a real thing. And until we decide as a country, we need to fix what's going on here. We cannot have this where going to school makes you a fucking dork. And it's not cool. Your opportunities in life are become a rapper or an NBA star, which are about 0%. Right. About 0 of you are going to actually do that. We need to have something where there's legitimate chances for people, and until you put a shit ton of money into those communities to have proper help and proper support systems to change what's going on, you were going to continue to have this problem.
Yeah, they've lost control of those schools.
Right. They've completely lost control. I remember talking to Charlie LaDuff. We were out one night, and he was, he's way more involved in that kind of thing than certainly we are. And when imagine going to a school and the situation is so bad that the roofs are just leaking water all over the hallways. You know what I mean? Like, that's a reality. That's a reality for those students. Like, how is that a decent learning environment?
It's not.
And it wouldn't be put up with in neighborhoods like we grew up in. The parents wouldn't allow that. They would demand better,
But there's also, the tax money. There's a lot of other factors involved in that.
Sure.
Can you subsidize that money? Of course, should you? 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy fix on any level, that's for sure.
No. And I fear a lot of them, unfortunately, don't want to fix it. And the reason for that is because it makes a good argument. It's the Obama could absolutely solidified Roe v. Wade.
Right.
He had a period there where he had a majority in the House, the Senate, and the White House.
Yep.
And could have done that.
Did he actually say he was going to do that?
He said it day one.
Yep.
Day one, he was going to do that. He didn't. And then it gets to where it is.
And then he gets in there and they're like, hey, Barack.
Fuckface.
Listen, dude, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
You got to understand, this is a long-term game here.
Yeah.
You can't come in here and fuck
You
this
can't
up.
take that argument away from us. We've been bitching about the other side doesn't want this. You can't do this.
Yep.
It takes away an entire argument from us. And the rest of us are going, well, it would have been nice to fix something you said you would, but they don't. They don't. And so for Obama to come out now and be whining about Roe v. Wade or whatever, it's like, dude, you know what? There's very few people in a position to actually do something and make a name and put their fucking stamp on it. You were that person.
Yeah.
You're not that person now.
He got Obamacare.
Yeah.
Put his name on that.
Yeah. Should be very proud of that.
Sure. Yeah.
Talk to any doctor. Ask them how Obamacare is.
Yeah. We've greatly benefited.
Yeah.
Everyone has insurance now.
Sure.
Hey, everyone loves top shelf service, world-class experience, and of course, communication and support after the sale. So don't settle for ordinary. Go see our friends and original sponsors, Zott, Ford, and Holly. Because when you work with Gabara, Anthony, and their whole crew, you'll get all that plus the yummiest deals in the D. Starting with Zott Ford's employee pricing for everyone on remaining 22 F-150s plus 0% financing. But hurry, that's not going to last. Plus, the team at Zott wants to help you get out of your high interest rate car loan and replace it with 0% financing and up to $4,500 in rebates. Or if you bought out your lease and are ready for something fresh, we can slide you out and get you an extra $1,000 on your trade-in. Finally, Zott Ford still has their famous sign and drive lease where you can lease a 23 Bronco Sport, Explorer, or F-150 with payments just over $400 a month. Sign and drive. See the smorgasbord of deals and delicious inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, don't forget about radiofor1.com where you can get merch. You can use our Amazon link, Amazon Canada. Thank you to everybody that's using those. Every little bit helps this tiny show. MyPillow, promo code TDC. It works at mystore.com. You can use that promo code. And at MyPillow, the MyPillow 2 is great. If you don't like that, go with the original.
I got to tell you.
Yeah.
It is fucking great.
Yeah, I like it too.
I have about 3 different kinds of pillows on there. I have the original MyPillow. I have a couple other ones that I bought that I really like. And then I got that too.
The MyPillow 2.0.
I run so hot at night. I mean, I'm on the covers, I'm out of the covers, I'm constantly flipping pillows to get to the cool side.
Yeah, me too.
Constantly.
Yeah.
I got to move out of my spot because the bed's hot, and I got to roll over and flip the pillow and all this stuff. I really don't with that one.
Really?
It stays cool. It really does. I'm not going to say I never flip it, but it's noticeably different than the other pillows.
It's great. And they've got 4th of July sales going on like crazy.
America.
The slippers are great, all that stuff. Just use promo code TDC. And the My Store, if you go to mystore.com, I'm telling you, the coffee, we really enjoyed the coffee.
It's delightful.
They've sent us a couple bags of it, and it's great. You know, I usually buy Dunkin' Donuts. You've got some specialty ones sometimes that are fucking great. But that stuff holds up, man. And I'm no connoisseur, so
And good coffee is not cheap.
No, it's not. Also, a link to our Patreon page. Best way to support this show, help this show, is by becoming a member. There's a level for everybody. And please continue to send us your emails. Love reading your emails. Walters@DetroitCast.com. On to other things. Marine vet Daniel Penny. You remember him for the death of Jordan Neely on the New York subway?
Choked out Michael Jackson.
Yes. He pled not guilty to manslaughter and negligent homicide charges. This goes back to May 1st. Penny placed Neely in a chokehold on the floor of a Manhattan subway car to subdue him alongside other passengers and witnesses who said Neely was making threatening comments on board the vehicle. Sounds like he was screaming that he was going to kill people, and he didn't care if he was killed, and he didn't care if he went to prison for life.
Is there not video of all this? I mean, everything is video these days.
Yeah, there's like after the fact video. Like once it's, people get their phones on. Oh, now he's in a chokehold and on the ground. We start filming.
Yeah, usually
but again,
anybody starts popping off, somebody's videing that.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe there's someone out there that has that video
and doesn't want to put it out.
Penny pled guilty to not guilty, excuse me, to second-degree manslaughter, negligent homicide before being freed on $100,000 bail. We are a long way off from trial, but all the evidence we've seen is that our client acted under the law, said Thomas Kniff. I'm assuming that's Ken Kniff's brother.
Clearly.
He's a lawyer for Penny. Neely, a homeless man with more than 40 arrests. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. When you're talking about
a pattern
of behavior, I don't even know how you get arrested 40 times. Are you walking in and turning yourself in like every other day? How do you get arrested 40 times?
Well, systemic racism is the answer to that one, Michael.
Right. Okay. I'd say you're really shitty as a thief then, right? You're a shit thief if you've been arrested 40 times. He's got a history of mental illness. He was most recently arrested in November of 21 when he fucking absolutely jacked a senior citizen woman.
Yeah, an old lady.
68 years old. I think busted her eye socket and broke her nose. Maybe she mouthed off. I don't know. But it seems a bit much to have this.
What if she put hard R on the end of it? Is that justified?
Even then, you gotta turn the other cheek, man. I don't know if someone drops a hard R.
You gotta at least go backhand on a 68-year-old woman.
Yeah,
even with a hard R.
I know. When people, hey, I'm just beating up a Nazi. People are like, yeah, fucking kick their ass. It's like, well, was he actually sending people on a train to Nuremberg and fucking burning
Auschwitz
and making people shower? Mm-hmm. Is that what was going on? Or does he just have political views you don't agree with?
There you go.
And so you're just claiming he's a Nazi, which gives you absolute right to beat the shit out of him.
Which that term has been thrown around a lot lately.
Yes. And it's so I don't want to get to the point where it's like, oh, she dropped the hard R. Okay, well, she's a shitty person then. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you could bust her eye socket and break her nose. She pulled a gun on you, by all means.
Yep.
She pulled a knife on you, by all means. But
she said something mean.
And we have no evidence. We're
I'm fucking around.
Conversation's sake. Maybe she dropped a hard R. I don't know. But it wouldn't be the first time he's heard the word, and you can't go punching a woman at 67, 68 years old in the face. You just can't do it. So he did have a warrant for his arrest because he never showed up in court for that one.
But he's homeless, so it's not like they can go to his house and pick him up.
Yeah, they're just knocking on dumpsters all over the city.
Yeah.
Peeking
in tents all down.
Nope. Is he in here? Where you at, Jordan Jackson Neely?
Yeah.
He. Daniel Penny did not have the courage to look Mr. Jordan's father in the eye, said Dante Mills, a lawyer for Neely's family. The grand jury's decision tells our city and our nation that no one is above the law. Oh, I would argue there's lots of people above the law. Lots.
Being proven every day.
Yeah. Look at, not to bring up Hunter Biden, but just take a glance at Hunter Biden and tell me that some people aren't above the law. Go ahead. So no matter how much money they raise, no matter what affiliation they claim, and no matter what distorted stories they tell in interviews, no one's above the law. Penny's defense has consistently maintained his innocence. While we respect the decision of the grand jury to move forward to trial. It should be noted that the standard of proof at a grand jury is very low, and there has been no finding of wrongdoing. We're confident when a jury trial is tasked with weighing the evidence, they will find Penny, his actions on the train were fully justified. He spoke out because people, of course, Jordan Neely's black. Mr. Penny is not.
It's open and shut case.
Yeah.
It's clearly racism.
Of course. It's the only reason.
It's a hate crime.
Yeah. So this had nothing to do with race, he said. I judge a person based on
And
their
he's a white
character.
supremacist.
I'm not a white supremacist, he said in a quote.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was obvious.
Yeah. He said, I mean, it's a little bit comical. Everybody who's ever met me can tell you, I love all people. I love all cultures. He's going to appear next in court October 25th. I fear for this guy, honestly.
Yeah, was he a Marine?
Marine.
Yeah. Oh, there would be, believe me, if this guy had a racist bone in his body,
we would know.
You would know. They would be coming out of the woodwork with stories of him through boot camp and people that he served with. Because when you're side by side with people that you don't agree with, you can't hide it.
Right.
You cannot hide it when you're with them 24 hours a day for years.
Yeah.
You can't hide it. And they know it. Even if you try to hide it, you can't.
Yeah.
So,
and when you need to count on your brother to have your back,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, do you really think in the heat of whatever they're going through as Marines, they give a flying fuck what color someone is?
Yeah, no, not you, Darky. I need a white guy to come save my life.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're brothers.
They're brothers. And they're family at that point.
Yeah, and the things that you go through that together, I mean, some people have that just deep rooted in them.
Yeah.
But I got to believe that process drives a lot of that out of people too.
Probably.
You could go in with that sort of mentality, but you don't come out of. Some people still will, but I bet a lot of people open their eyes, but not many. No.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's just deep rooted. Some of it, even if you're okay, I'm okay with you, but I still don't trust you. You can't fuck my daughter. Stuff like that. But
right.
But
they would definitely joke around with each other.
Of course.
And race is not off the table and something like that. But that's what friends and brothers do.
Yeah.
Fuck with each other all the time.
Yeah.
You and I fuck with each other all the time. It doesn't mean anything as far as how we feel about each other or other people.
No.
Like that's just certainly how guys behave.
Right.
I can't say the same for women. I don't know how, when they the hens all get together, how they.
Who knows?
Who knows?
You can't predict that.
It depends what time of the month. Yeah. I would say for Daniel Penny, I hope to God his record is clean as shit as far as accusations of stuff. Because I think you would have heard. It would have been front page news if there was someone's digging, I guarantee it.
And has been.
Yeah.
And if there was, it would have been blasted all over the place.
See, you and I know that each other has decent character, right? We don't discriminate against people for the most part, I think. I mean, I don't feel that way. I don't think you feel that way. But if we were in an altercation on a subway in New York and you choked a motherfucker out and he died, the first thing they would do is go through this show and they would take out of context shit we said in a joking fashion. They would go, this is the real Troy Courtney.
Yeah.
This is Troy. Did you hear this joke he made or this statement? And you put it in print. It looks fucking awful. We would both look awful.
Absolutely.
For dumb shit that means nothing. We don't even mean it. We're just trying to get a laugh out of people, trying to entertain people.
Yep. Like pushing that envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
But I made a joke the other day. I got 2 apprentices, green as shit, brand new, like don't even fucking barely know righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, But and the good kids, they're young, but one's black, one's white.
Yeah.
And driver came out and had an envelope for one of the kids, the white kid. And it was for his drug test, but it's always the joke. It used to be when you got that was your check. You were getting laid off when an envelope came out.
Yeah. For the black guy being served.
And so we were walking out and he had it, and I was just busting his balls. I'm like, so you're a better electrician than Dez, but one of you guys had to go and he's black and we couldn't fire him. So sorry, kid, you had to eat a dick on this one. And I fucking totally joking. They laughed. Dez thought it was fucking hysterical.
Of course.
But one of the kids turned around and was like, Jesus Christ, did you just say that? I was like, yeah, I can say that because it's just fucking funny. It's not racist
fucking around,
on any
man.
level.
Relax.
Like, let's ask him if he's offended by that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the other people reacting for someone else.
And you know that guy.
And he wasn't mad, but he was like, "Oh my God! Like,
I
did you
can't
say
believe you
that?
said
Like,
that."
you said black." I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, yeah, it's fine."
I
Put
worry
a hard
more.
R on the end.
I worry more about the kid that pretends like this is some cardinal sin you made.
Yeah.
I worry more about him than the guy that's honest, funny, fucking
Right.
around with people,
Yeah.
does his job, gets his job done well, but isn't afraid to fuck around with this guy and that guy.
fuck with
It'd be
everybody
even
and
worse
anything.
if you only fucking joked around with the white guys. It'd be like a prison. We're
Right.
separated by race, and we only joke amongst ourselves. Like, dude, that guy's way worse than. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Inclusion and diversity.
Hey, equity. Troy's got his own level of equity.
Exactly. Fucking bust everyone's balls equally.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We are coming to the end.
Gross.
I know. Let's see. Today's the 29th.
Yeah, we're about to be July.
Yeah, we're getting out of June, which is Pride Month. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. It's going to be a problem, T.
Yeah, I'm sure there's days and weeks in July that are spoken for.
Yeah. Well, they're going to keep fucking anyways, right?
Yep.
Dude on dude, girl on girl. That's not going to end come July 1. So
Oh, no.
they'll just celebrate in their own homes. Christian employees and assorted others from within Google launched a petition opposing an official team event featuring a public pride and drag show.
Hey, did you know that LGBTQ History Month is October?
Great.
So they need a month. So they
What
get a
does
month,
what does that even
and then
celebrate?
they get a History Month.
What does that even celebrate?
I have no idea, but they get a month.
I'm gonna have to print out all the-
Holocaust gets a day.
Sure. Dads get a day. Moms get a day.
Black HIV/AIDS awareness gets a day.
Dude, I did this on the show, you remember, where I printed out all the fucking days they get.
Yes.
And it's literally over 300. Mm-hmm. Where it's somewhere, someday they're celebrating
And there's
this group
overlap,
of people. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They get weeks in their month.
TDC only has one day. By the way, I never even mentioned anything. We got the key to the city, and they celebrated as Detroit Cast Day, and I believe it was June 9th.
Yeah, it came not that long ago. Gross.
Gross. Yeah, and a couple people emailed like, "Hey, happy TDC Day," and I totally forgot to mention it, and we're very proud of that. We have,
As
we
you
have
should.
a
The
day.
key's hanging on the wall right there.
Fuck yeah,
City
it
of Houghton.
is.
Lovely area up in
Yeah,
UP.
I need to get up there. I'm actually upset with myself that I sent Isis and
think of
K-Dog
that.
up there and
Yeah.
didn't go myself. My dad still bitches at me about that. Like, why didn't you go up there? And I was like, it's sort of a joke, I guess. He's like, yeah, but it was a real event, and they, dressed up, and they had a scroll, and
Yeah, they
the
did it
whole
all,
thing.
yeah.
They did it all, and you sent fucking E-Tard and K-Dog. K-Dog is fine. Love that guy, but I should have made that trek.
Yes.
I should have.
That's showing signs of maturity. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's a lot of things I'm not proud of. I'm trying to do better.
That's what I'm saying. We can't
trying
change the
to do
past, but we can influence the future.
Yeah, we should go up there one day and have a beer in honor of Detroit Cast Day.
Yeah. Well, let's do a remote next year on TDC Day.
There you go. So sponsored by
When's
Google.
the 10-year anniversary?
Probably a couple of years. I don't know. What was that?
I can't read the
2000?
date on there. Too far to read.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, maybe on the 10-year anniversary.
Figure something out.
I know we've got some listeners up there. So the company removed the event from the list of Alphabet Plus events in California promoted by Google and shifted the official team event on site. The show featuring Peaches Christ, was intended to be the climax of a series of Pride events in the Bay Area for employees and the public. Google had described it as an event to wrap up this amazing month. Hundreds of Google employees signed the petition. The petition stated the event would sexualize and disrespect Christian coworkers, charging Google with religious discrimination. Their provocative and inflammatory artistry is considered a direct affront to the religious beliefs and sensitivities of Christians. I don't know why this would be an.
You said you spelled Nazis wrong.
Yeah, true. Sorry about that. I don't know why these people are amazing.
Because they're so brave. So
Right.
brave.
So for a guy to sit on and lick cocks
There's some big cocks out there. That takes real balls.
Well, it might be an amazing feat for you to get down as far as you did on it, but I don't know that that makes you amazing in any way.
True.
You know what I mean?
Not really a martyr.
No. Google confirmed to CNBC that it no longer categorized the performance as a Google-recognized diversity, equity, and inclusion event. Google shifted the team event to a separate social gathering at Google offices for employees. Why do you need to have a drag show for employees at Google? Just do whatever you do at Google. Feels like Google's done anyways.
But we should just
Why
be
do you
working
need employees?
and handle that shit off site.
Why do you need employees at Google? I mean, the Google machine works all the time.
Yeah.
Works great.
Right.
I mean, it's a little biased. It's a little whatever, but I feel like what do you do? Like if some new information comes out, you just need to input that? It seems like one guy could do that. You call Google and go, you're not going to believe this.
A little bigger than that.
Is it?
It's a pretty big operation.
Their offices are everywhere in the Bay Area. Everywhere. It's like, what are you people doing? You just updating like new information all the time?
Yeah, it's they got to control the narrative. That's a full-time job.
Yeah. While the event organizers have shifted the team event on site, the performance will go on at the planned venue, and it's open to the public, so employees can still attend. We've long been proud to celebrate and support the Alphabet community. Our Pride celebrations have regularly featured drag artists for many years, including several this year.
Can I get a stripper for straight day?
Right.
To come in?
Dude, why not have, I mean...
Hetero week, month?
Sure.
Day?
Bring a bunch of strippers in. Let them grind on your face a little bit. Sure.
Yeah, why not? Seems legit.
This particular event was booked by and shared within one team without going through our standard event process. According to Peaches Christ, in my world, Jesus has a sense of humor. Yes, I did host a Hunky Jesus contest. Yes, I support the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Yes, my show is called Midnight Mass, but the Jesus and God I believe in does not care. This is another example of the really disturbing rise in anti-queer and anti-gay rhetoric that is using drag performance and trans people as scapegoats. Anyone who knows me and knows my career knows I use drag, the drag character, named to present love, to make people laugh, to create entertainment, and to create spaces for outsiders. Okay, well, why don't we have a BDSM day at Google?
Sure.
Right? I mean, if it's about celebrating and elevating the diversity in all of us.
Inclusion and diversity.
Why stop with drag queens?
Oh, I don't think it will.
At work.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to.
Let's bring in a whole BDSM group of people and let them, show off what they do. Have them lightly whipped.
Karen, your flogging's next. Come on, get up here.
Get over here. Let's get you locked up. Yep. Got your head through here, your hands through here.
There you
we'll
go,
start
honey.
whipping
Put this
that
on
ass.
Oh,
have you all been fitted for your red ball harness set? If you haven't, please come to the front of the line.
CHR.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad, but it's coming. It's fucking coming, dude.
Gross, but yeah.
They're just like what, people gonna marry trees?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He fucking won? It's you joke about it like it's so ludicrous it's not even possible, but I don't think anything is so ludicrous that it's not possible anymore.
I don't know how you keep anything off the table.
You can't. And anything that we think right now is laughable makes it imminent, almost.
Right. This was a practice that most people didn't have a problem with. Some people, are pearl clutchers and are going to be offended by, you said damn, and they're going to be offended by that.
And follow up on that real quick. Maybe they're not so upset at the drag part of it as the mockery of their religion and their God that they're taking exception with.
Right.
So let's try to differentiate maybe between the two because of your Peaches Christ character that's mocking their... Why don't you do that with Muhammad? With Muhammad and see how that goes
See how it goes.
Give it a shot. Any Muhammad drags out there? Not anymore.
Yeah.
There were, but they don't last long.
And why wouldn't you have that party? Why don't we
Let's make fun of everyone's God and then call them homophobic and transphobic when you do.
Right. Let's bring in the Indian, the elephant with fucking 8 arms or Ganesh, whatever the fuck that is.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, let's have Ganesh Day and we all dress up and mock Indian culture for fun, and everybody's included and welcome.
It's all in good nature.
Yeah,
of course.
I bet Ganesh has a good attitude and a sense of humor.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, let's all just put red dots on our forehead, and we'll all speak like this. We'll all speak like Apu. Hello, thank you. Come again. We'll all walk around.
Raj is fucking stewing right now.
He fucking hates when I do that.
I know, that makes me so happy.
It makes me so happy too. Fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding. I love Raj. I was actually texting with him earlier.
Hi, Raj.
And I'll be honest with you. I had a conversation going with Jenny today. And one of the things I asked her, she didn't respond to this because we were talking about a bunch of stuff, but I was interested if she was still working on the trans documentary.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Remember, didn't she say she was working on some
we
sort
had a
of
great
trans-
conversation about that.
Yeah. And she had no idea about what the other side had a problem with. And it was at the end of the show. We didn't really get into it, but I was like, why don't you look into that a little bit? I don't know if she has, but I was like, we gotta have you back on. There's myriad things to talk about. And she's like, fucking love to, anytime. So we're gonna bring her in, and I would love to talk to her about some of that stuff, because it would be so insulting if you started fucking doing Muhammad parties and Ganesh parties.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you get what do they call the hits on you?
The fatwa.
Yeah,
fatwa.
Fatwa, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you get that on your head.
Right.
So
you wouldn't dare because of the threat of payback.
Mm-hmm.
That threat is fucking real.
And would happen.
And yeah. What's his name? Who lost an eye in New York, public speaking, and he had a fatwa against him or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is his name? Solomon Rushdie.
Rushdie, yes.
Solomon Rushdie lost a fucking eye. You know, so yeah. How about we go to the Dodgers game and parade around as Muhammad, and we'll have women dressed in fucking glad bags head to toe, and we'll run around, maybe fuck some goats.
Yeah.
And scream Allah Akbar everywhere.
Have just your head covered, and then have all full drag underneath like that. It's going to go over great.
Sure.
Not offensive at all.
Nah.
They can take a joke,
yeah,
I think, right?
We'll have bowls of hummus for everybody.
It's
It'll
all
be
in
awesome.
good fun.
We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Just having fun.
Exactly.
But you could do it against Christianity, and you can
use
mock
that,
them.
and that's the point of it, is that you can do things that are offensive, and when people get offended, it's not about what you did; it's about you,
right?
It's because you're transphobic and you're
right.
Which
is bullshit on its face.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, it just is.
I'm not saying that part doesn't exist, but that's a huge part of that too.
Sure.
And if you want to just ignore that side of it,
right?
The Sisters of Perpetual fucking Boners or whatever that is, yeah, there's people that are going to take offense to that because you're mocking their religion.
And you know where that belongs? No offense to them, like other adult-themed things, it doesn't belong in a fucking children's library. It doesn't belong at the ballpark.
Nope.
It belongs in a nightclub where it usually went on and very few people complained. You'd occasionally get some fucking upset group that would go out and picket. They didn't beat you down. They didn't do anything, but that's where it belonged. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. It's like, okay, you want to dress up like it's Halloween and wear outrageous makeup? Fine.
You want to disagree with it? You want to stand outside and protest and hold your signs and chant things?
Knock yourselves
Fabulous.
out.
But let's not, start beating and killing each other and rioting and burning down cities over.
Yeah. And if someone has a mild problem, when out of the fucking blue you decide there's an influx of cash, first off, that's going on, right? These people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars to appear at these events.
Follow the money.
That's something you don't hear much about, but they're getting funded, and it's expensive. Ask women how much makeup is. So for these people to doll themselves all up and wear this, they're getting paid for the first time in their lives. They're not spending their own money to just hang out in a nightclub, and God knows what's going on there. Believe me, it's not something you want your kids seeing. It's just not. Mm-hmm. And so to each their own. You and I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. But when you want to fucking do that in a library with kids, I'm sorry. That's going to have, people are going to have a problem with it. And you have to appreciate that their opinions matter like yours do. Okay? And so when they have a problem with it, it doesn't mean they're bigots. It doesn't mean they're homophobic. It doesn't mean they're transphobic. Mm-hmm. It means they don't think this is appropriate for their fucking middle schoolers.
Yeah, they don't agree with you.
Right.
Doesn't make them wrong, doesn't make you wrong.
Yes.
They don't agree with you, and they're entitled to their opinion just like you.
Yes.
You don't have to like it, but you got to shut the fuck up and accept it.
Yeah.
That's where we've lost all civility.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not coming back anytime soon. I don't know. Once that starts turning, I don't know how you turn back out of that.
Absolutely
and
not.
God knows where it goes.
And just like anything else, there's levels. Drag queen bingo. Okay,
right.
It's not. There's not stripper poles and lap dances and stuff going on. It's fun
Men in
and it's
thongs
it's almost a family. You know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah, it's guys dressed up in drag, but it's fun. That's the whole point of it, right? But that's not every drag show.
No,
that's the minority of drag shows.
There's so many people who don't know that, who just go.
That's just it, right? Oh, I went to drag queen bingo. They were awesome. They were so funny. Oh my god, they're not hurting anybody.
I went to drag story hour and they just read a book and the kids loved them and they love the colorful costumes. It's like, yeah, sure. You're trying to normalize something that what's next? Why don't we do BDSM?
Sure.
Why not? Let's have BDSM happy hour at local schools and in libraries.
Yeah.
They can bring their whips and chains and their furry handcuffs. No.
Was Boy Scouts good for a lot of guys? Sure.
Yeah.
Was it bad for a lot of guys? Yeah.
Yeah, a little
really
trouble.
bad.
Little trouble.
So it's not just automatically good across the board or automatically bad.
No.
Yeah.
Everything in its place.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Two guys could have gone to this and been in the same Cub Scout group.
Boy Scout
troop.
Yeah, the troops.
Yeah, and had very different experiences.
Yeah.
In the exact same troop.
Yeah.
So there are no absolutes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that people need to understand is one person's truth is not everyone's truth.
Well, this is not going to help the argument, but chaos has erupted at a Massachusetts courtroom during the first court appearance of a daycare worker accused of sending photos of naked kids to a trans former politician.
Oh yeah, we checked
Take all that in.
We checked a lot of boxes here, baby. Let's go.
Lindsay Groves, 38 years old.
Man,
What?
I thought you were going to say
Lindsey Graham.
I was like,
I'm slow rolling. Lindsay Groves.
Yeah.
Who is hideous to look at.
Okay.
And I mean fucking hideous.
Does not surprise me.
Appeared in court on Wednesday to face accusations that she took nude images of children aged 3 to 5 at the Creative Minds Early Learning Center in Tingsboro, which is 35 miles northwest of Boston.
Now, being a previous daycare worker,
as was I.
Yes, really, really offended by this.
Yeah.
Really have a problem with it.
And if we had iPhones back then, I still wouldn't have taken any pictures of nude kids. I don't even remember seeing nude kids.
Well, no, I don't.
Maybe
think,
during diaper changes occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be weird if they weren't, if their dicks and little vajayjays weren't out when you changed the diaper.
Dude, and almost.
But when they're 3, you can just make them nude. You can just take their clothes off.
And you know how often Troy and I jacked off 3 and 5-year-old boys? Almost never. Right? Almost never.
Almost never, for sure.
I mean, I don't remember every single day. I don't have that kind of didactic memory where I remember.
I don't specifically remember any beep boops, but
none. I almost remember none. You know how many times?
And even there was that one girl, so cute.
Oh, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Oh,
yeah.
my little girl,
She was a doll.
Oh yeah, Jordan's the best.
Didn't even diddle with that.
Nope.
Full respect.
How often did either one of us stick our dicks in 3 or 5-year-olds' mouths? As far as I remember, almost never.
I'm pretty sure my body count was 0.
Yeah. In fact, I don't even remember taking my clothes off in front of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
I don't remember playing Show Me Yours, I'll Show You Mine. I don't remember playing Doctor. We did a lot of Reading Rainbow. I remember
that.
that.
Place there because I had a lot of sex there.
Yeah.
But
you did.
None of them were with the kids.
Yeah, you stranded me with the kids while you went and banged the owner's daughter.
I was on break.
Your breaks were too long. I do remember the worst thing we probably did to those kids, okay? Because we weren't perfect.
No.
The worst thing Troy and I did to these kids, and I'm not proud of it at all, we didn't beat them, we didn't fuck them, but sometimes we would nibble on their snacks. Because some of them had delicious snacks that their parents packed for them.
I'm going to come clean here.
Okay.
Gross. I'm a sucker for graham crackers.
I'm a sucker for Cheez-Its.
Yep. I am a sucker for graham crackers. And for some reason,
Yeah.
a lot of those kids
Just
had
had
graham
graham
crackers,
crackers,
man.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they didn't need all 4 of them.
No.
No, God, no. I mean, 2 full ones, in little
Sure.
pieces.
Oh, yeah. It's not like we wouldn't give them some of it.
No,
But it's like,
yeah.
dude.
Because they got to go home and be like, did you like your graham cracker? You got to say yes. Not
Yeah.
be like, what graham cracker?
Yeah.
No, so you got to give them a graham cracker.
Right. Even
Or give
a
him
partial
something
graham
else.
cracker.
Yeah, we could move some stuff around.
Yeah.
Billy doesn't need all those snacks. He's
Yeah.
he could shed a few
No
pounds.
way can he eat all those Cheez-Its.
Right.
Not a chance.
We were saving those kids from long-term health issues.
Yeah. And,
Shame
I'll
on
tell
those
you
parents
what.
for sending some unhealthy snacks.
Yeah. But the ones that sent vegetables and stuff, we absolutely let the kids eat them. We didn't touch them.
Never touched them.
You know what I mean?
Not once.
Maybe to put them on a plate for
I don't
them.
think I had an apple. I never stole a single apple slice.
I never stole a single celery slice
Why
or
would you?
carrot slice.
Why would you?
No, because it
Yeah.
was for the kids. That's why.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that.
Nope.
But when they packed Oreos and Cheez-Its,
I'm telling you, it was fine. It's graham crackers for me, dude.
I mean, honestly, it was our lunch too. We're all there together having lunch, And you got to steal them before they see them because they'll slobber on everything. They're a mess.
They are disgusting.
Absolute
They are
mess.
disgusting.
Yeah. Prosecutors say the New Hampshire resident took the photos in a private bathroom during bathroom breaks. I don't remember doing bathroom breaks with you. We must have. Do you remember taking kids to the bathroom to go potty? I don't even remember doing that.
It's funny because I don't, and I think that makes me a great person.
Yeah.
That I don't even ever remember it. Like I don't remember changing a diaper. I mean, I remember a lot of things.
Yeah.
And none of those ring a bell.
Yeah.
So the fact that I didn't ever focus on any of that makes me feel pretty good about myself.
I like to think, and I could be wrong. I absolutely could be wrong, but I like to think that if I was every 5-6 minutes taking a toddler into the bathroom to go potty,
Yep.
you might have said something to me. And
What are we doing here, buddy?
Yeah. And if you, if I saw you, snapping pictures of little vajayjays and tiny dongs,
Right.
I'm
Turn around,
pretty
stick it out.
sure,
Arch your back a little bit.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have said something to you.
I would appreciate
Not to
yeah.
be a dick, but
Yeah.
I probably would have said
risking our livelihoods.
what are we doing here, man? We're making like $7 an hour. Why are you risking that to
Yeah,
take?
we were killing it.
Yeah, it's a tiny dick. Why would you want to even take a photo of it?
Yeah. Well, it's not for me.
Right.
It's for my trans
Politician
friend. He really likes the little dickers.
So she would take these before nap time and text them to someone with whom she was previously in an intimate relationship and shared.
She's gross, though, right?
Fucking hit it. Look it up. Lindsay Groves, 38 years old.
Just chicken hawk.
Yeah. She shared 2,500 texts with this dude. The investigation also led to the arrest of Stacy Lawton, who is believed to be the first trans person elected to a state legislature in the nation. She is charged with distributing child porn. Several parents were present during the first court appearance, with one of them yelling at her as she was being led away from the courtroom. And this woman yelled, and I'm not saying this is right, but she yelled, "I want to fucking kill that bitch!"
That's a proper response from a parent.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
I'm not a parent, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's legitimate. It's funny. I just Googled Lindsay Groves. And
Yeah.
apparently there's a lot of Lindsay Groves out there. She was not the first one. She was fairly deep down the list, actually, of
Really?
Lindsay Groves. Yeah.
And you knew?
I immediately.
Yeah. You knew which one?
It was the one with the mugshot, but
Yeah.
that made it a little easier. But I knew before
Yeah.
that was the one.
Yeah.
She looks like that Lindsay Groves.
Yeah. The mother was then escorted out by a U.S. Marshal and the people she was with, who tried to calm her down. Another mother, Rosemary Denome, saying, "We just all hope that she is taken down." She said her 4-year-old daughter attended the daycare, and she still doesn't know if her child is one of the victims.
Oh, she's right in that 3 to 5 window.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
for sure.
Yes, I hate to tell you, but
Yeah, her tiny vajayjay's out there somewhere.
I mean, unless she's a big one, maybe she's
Yeah.
not their type, but I got to believe.
I don't either.
Right
I
in
don't
that the window is 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So
4 is right there.
dead center. That's in the prime.
As any parent would, you want to grab her, but you don't want to get kicked out. I came down like any parent would. You want to follow this, and I want to fight the fight for my daughter and all those kids. So back to Lawton, the trans politician. Elected in 2012, but was unable to serve because she was trans? No. She was unable to serve after her criminal past emerged, in which she was sentenced to probation stemming from an '08 felony conviction for credit card fraud.
What was the first name?
Lawton, it was, oh, shit. Hold on. Rosemary Denome, Learning Center, she was sending, who was believed, Stacy,
Thank you.
I.E.
Thank you.
Stacy.
I wonder if her mom's got it going on.
Probably. Yeah. Stacy's mom.
Good Lord.
What are we looking at? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If
you said that thing was getting 2,500 pictures and texts of tiny wee-wees, that would not shock me. Would that shock you?
No. This one right here looks like it's got a strong hand.
Oh, fuck. That's the baldest woman I've ever seen. Oh, ma'am.
Oh, my Lord.
According to the affidavit.
Proud of you for saying ma'am there. It's
Yeah. Well,
respect.
Progress.
You're growing up.
Yeah. Groves allegedly used natural bathroom breaks for the children, such as routine diaper pull-up changes prior to nap time, to take multiple photos of the prepubescent children in a private bathroom, and then sent the photos to this former partner via text. The text included discussions of the explicit images, and the transfer also included at least 4 sexually explicit images of children.
Look at that. That's a lovely lady.
Ooh. Yeah, she is.
A tall drink of water right there, boy. Now, which prison does this young lady get to attend?
I don't know.
Is there even going to be B prison?
Probably not. I mean, she's trans.
Yeah.
A mother who said her son was one of the victims claimed police showed her an image of her 3-year-old with his pants on his ankles. I don't know if he was hung, so don't even ask. She didn't go into detail about it. But the kid's got his pants around his ankles, and this thing is taking pictures of it. Parents were alerted when officials showed up at the doors last week saying they needed help identifying victims. So they're like, yeah,
all right, drop them. We need to know who's who. We don't have anything to go off of except for dicks and vaginas. So
yeah, is this your kid's tiny
drop
dick?
them.
We're looking for...
I know that mole. Yeah. I know that mole anywhere.
Despite her criminal past, Lawton ran for a second term in 2022 and was elected again to represent Nassau, New Hampshire. I'm sorry, once again, unable to take office, having been jailed on stalking charges. We got a real piece of work here. Lawton blamed her past criminal behavior on mental illness and untreated conditions. I don't know if she's talking about being trans or just crimes, but she's the one claiming mental illness.
Right. Perfect. Fit for duty.
Yeah.
That's the person we need representing us.
She also stated that her actions were completely out of character.
Didn't see that coming at all.
No.
Weird.
Feels like it's kind of right in character.
I just looked at the picture, and it checks out.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does check out. I have had mental illness my whole life, and I guess this was my worst break with it. I was untreated for a long time. I didn't have medication after being arrested for making a bomb threat.
Okay. What's that got to do with fucking 4-year-old dicks?
Well,
Oh, yeah, we won't.
that's a separate thing.
Right.
I've got mental illness. I've got stalking charges, so I couldn't serve, and then I couldn't serve for another charge, and then don't forget the bomb threats.
Yeah, let's not forget that.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. Okay.
I mean, we didn't put their faces in there. They don't know. That was just for my own personal pleasure.
Right.
Fucking creep.
It was totally out of character for me. I've put a lot behind me, and I never thought I would do this in a million years.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the search history turns up.
Yeah, my guess is it's not going to be pretty.
Probably not.
If I had to guess. I don't know for sure.
I'd love for that stuff to go public.
Yeah.
Hey, insurance, we all need it, and most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage. Auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Didn't know Udo was a type of insurance, but it is now.
Okay.
Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900.
So, how do you feel about lab-grown meat? I almost brought this up the other day, but I didn't.
I do not support lab-grown anything.
Yeah, it does. It sounds kind of creepy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you're talking about lab-grown. I don't know. Maybe
I think I'll support lab-grown psilocybin.
really
Yeah. Well, no, I take that back.
or lab-grown marijuana.
Yeah, I mean, no.
I mean, nature knows what it's doing, right?
That's exactly why I retracted that statement. Is because psilocybin and marijuana are natural.
Right.
I don't want them altered. I don't want them made in the lab.
What if they can make them way better, though?
What? Is it better though?
I don't know.
Is it better?
I don't know. My
Right.
guess is meat is not better.
stronger. Is that better? You can get way higher. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is that what it was supposed to do, or is it supposed to be this?
Yeah.
Just stay the fuck out of it. You want something else? Make your own.
Well, we've got a nutritionist who is warning of the lack of public info available on lab-grown meat, going as far as saying, "I'd rather eat my shoe than lab-grown meat." Last week,
At least that came from a real animal.
right? Last week, the United States Department of Agriculture announced it approved the sale of lab-grown meat for commercial sale. In an interview with the New York Post, Diana Rogers, a registered dietitian and author of Sacred Cow, The Case for Better Meat, warned of the unknowns regarding lab-grown meat and advocated sticking to the natural form of meats and food.
Yeah.
I would agree. I'd rather eat my shoe than lab-grown meat. McDonald's is still better because the meat is a better option for vitamins. Two California companies, Good Meat and Upside Foods, are now approved to sell chicken created from animal cells in the United States. The U.S. is just the second country in the world after Singapore to allow commercial sale of lab-grown meat, also referred to as cultured and cell-cultivated meat. When asked whether lab-grown meat was healthy or not, Rogers said, "We just don't know. I have yet to see a life cycle assessment on the production of it. We don't have any public data." According to Good Meat, its lab-grown meat is made from cells of chickens, salt, and a base of soy and wheat. They reportedly were unable to provide the Post with a nutritional label because, as of now, product is only to be served in restaurants, not grocery stores. Yeah, the company said its
that's
product.
way better.
Yeah,
Fuck, we talking
but I
about?
think it's only in 2 restaurants, both in California.
Okay.
So I think as long as we avoid those.
Well, for
But, you
now,
know, for now.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see the recent investments of the people that passed this.
Yeah.
They heavily vested in what was it? Fucking Moo Moo Good and
Yeah, Beyond Meat.
yeah,
And,
whatever. All right, whatever the the companies you just listed that were
oh, these ones, yeah. Good Meat, was it? Or
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Good Meat and the other one. The specific nutrition profile varies for each of our consumer products, Good Meat told the Post. We use unmodified, non-GMO chicken cells, which occur naturally in animals. Rogers argued lab-grown meat is not the same as eating traditional meat. They're taking monocrop plant sources, taking them into a factory, and using high-energy processes to convert them into meat. This will reportedly cost upwards of $20 a pound when it does hit stores.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Is that expensive? 20 pounds of chicken?
that-
$20 for a pound of chicken?
Yeah, that's more expensive than fillets.
Yeah.
$20 a pound.
Really?
Yes. So
Here's the other
ground
thing.
beef is it's up now, probably $4 or $5 a pound.
Yeah.
For ground beef.
Right.
Those lovely steaks I got the other day were $11 a pound. Fantastic.
Fucking good.
$11
Oh,
a
my
pound.
God. Study published in May, which has not been peer-reviewed, found lab-grown meat may actually be worse for the environment than regular meat. This is the hilarious part of this. This is the when you buy and I stole this from Ali Sadiq. Is that his name? Who was on Rogan?
Yep.
He was talking about how hilarious it is that you can get a box of paper straws in a plastic container.
Right.
And just the hilarity in that. Like,
Oh, the hypocrisy.
yeah, the hypocrisy completely. This is the same thing with electric vehicles. If you think your electric vehicle is
Yes.
better for the environment, you are sadly mistaken. Sorely mistaken.
Yeah. Let's check that
So-
carbon footprint.
The product, which is not vegetarian, is cultivated from animal cells, which are incubated and grown into masses of meat in steel tanks and then cut and made to look like traditional meat. So, yeah, this is going to be worse for the environment. It's weird.
I mean, there's not even any possibility of understanding long-term physical effects of this, of someone eating
Right.
lab-grown meat for
Yeah.
20 years, what that's going to do to a person.
Right.
They can't. It goes back to the vaccine shenanigans. You can't possibly understand what the long-term effects are going to be. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. But don't tell me there are not, because you can't possibly know that.
You can't.
You cannot possibly know it.
Which is why they were smart enough to cover their asses and say, oh, by the way, this is emergency use, which takes away the ability for them to be sued. So no matter how many people, and the numbers will eventually all come out.
They can't be sued anyway. Isn't that what they put that in? Everybody stopped doing the vaccines.
Yeah.
Because they can't be sued anyway.
Right.
Over that. Even with full FDA approval.
Yeah.
They have a license to fucking print money.
Right. And it doesn't matter how many people are injured. That could be in the millions.
Collateral debt. But how many people did it save, Michael?
Who the fuck knows? Who knows? And I'm so disappointed that I got that fucking vaccine. I really am, dude.
I actually am
It
too.
really bothers me that I caved and went, okay, and it was because of comorbidities. I mean, that's really the only reason. I cut the line a little bit, which made me feel special.
Yeah.
And I have enough comorbidities that it was like, okay, if this is really that bad a thing, I guess I'll do it. The other thing about this fake meat stuff that they're doing, I actually went with Beth once to downtown Detroit. There was some small bar, cool little spot, and they were you paid, I don't know, $20 or something. They had a buffet of stuff that they served, like different courses, and we literally sitting at the rail of the bar, and it was like Kentucky Fried Chicken and mashed potatoes and this brand, like they wanted it to appear like we're trying to make this vegetable taste like Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's all fucking weird. It all tastes, and it's like, I see what you did there, but I'm not ordering this.
Right.
And why are you trying to make it look like chicken anyways? Why are you trying so hard?
If this is so good.
If you hate McDonald's so much.
Why can't this just be its own thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Its own, exactly. Be your own thing. Why are you cutting it in the shapes of chicken wings?
Tofu didn't try to be something.
No.
I mean, it sucks, but it was its own thing at least.
Yeah, whatever. They're little cubes.
Yeah.
But you didn't try to shape it like a Big Mac.
Yeah, here, let's
Be
paint
like,
it. Make it round and flat, paint it brown, and call it a burger.
Right.
No.
Yeah. And God knows what the hell formula you've come up with to inject this shit so that it makes it tolerable enough that you can go, it's kind of like KFC.
And where'd you get that flavor?
Right. Yeah.
How natural is this stuff?
Right. It's creepy.
How to get that color?
Yeah.
All these things,
It's creepy as shit. It's not going away. And I'm, maybe in 20 years when it's like, you know what? Look at all the healthy people. And they absolutely love this lab-grown chicken. We're not murdering chickens all day now. They're not stuck crammed in a fucking crate for their whole lives.
Yeah.
And this stuff is delicious. And by all accounts, their bodies are reacting wonderfully to this. You get to that point, and then I'll give it a shot.
Yep.
I'm not going to be a guinea pig with your fucking fake meats and
Not
shit.
anymore.
No. I will stick to regular hamburgers, ground turkey,
Yeah. There's enough real shit out there. Even that stuff is so fucking manipulated anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to know.
Exactly. All right, should we do an Ask T-Roy and a quick email?
Yeah, Ask T-Roy today is brought to you by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club, the Backcourt combines first-class service with a relaxed, friendly atmosphere and a chef-inspired menu. They have daily dinner specials throughout the week, live music on Friday nights, and on Friday and Saturdays, the best damn prime rib in town.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, they do. So next
Oh
time
my
you're
God, they're huge.
Oh, the
Fucking huge,
the King's
dude.
Cut, I think.
It reminds me of watching a Flintstones episode.
Right, it's what they slap on the side of the car that flips it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Huge.
amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, so next time you're heading out for dinner or drinks, stop by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. You call them at 248-625-8686 or visit DeerLakeAthleticClub.com.
And I'm really happy to report I was texting with Forey, whose family owns the place.
Okay.
And he said he's had listeners come in. And
Excellent.
they've been fucking great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you so much to,
Okay. Yep.
It's
That's
really
why we do
important.
this.
Yeah. It's really important. Everybody that sponsors this show listens, which is huge. We're not doing reads for McDonald's.
We're family.
And corporate shit. These are people that are putting their hard-earned money into this little show, hoping that some people will show up and support it. And so I don't have names, but thank you to the people that went to the restaurant and people that continue
and
to
email
go
the
there.
show. Gave us reviews. I mean, we've eaten there a few times. Florey's been
great.
excellent, taking great care of us, but the food's always been fantastic.
Yeah. The bread, I'm telling you, the bread is
fucking
for.
phenomenal.
It is.
really
the steak
is.
too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
can't
a
go wrong.
steak guy. Everything we've gotten there has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
So
but everybody, these are listeners.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. The Gabaras, Nick Matthews,
Yep.
the Party Pub, Jeff Dolby. Everybody that advertises on here is a listener.
Nick Matthews,
Brent Wasik.
yeah, 100%.
OG, man. You're giving your money somewhere. Let's take care of each other.
Nick Matthews texted me the other day after I had a doctor's appointment. He goes, you're the only one whose insurance I've dealt with who I get daily updates on because I listen to the show and you're talking about what happened. He said, I hope that your insurance has been good. I said, bro, I don't have time to talk right now because we're getting ready to do a show, but I cannot tell you the night and day difference between the insurance I had and the insurance I have with you. It is so much better and cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah, and not
who
like
qualifies
not
for
like
it.
$20 a month cheaper. Like
Hundreds.
Yes,
like sick.
fractional.
Now, the key might be the fact that we don't make shit here. You know, that's the reality. And so maybe I
get
got
some
put in
subsidies.
some subsidies of some sort. But that is worth a phone call.
Michael,
Yeah.
that's Obamacare.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But not having to get what were the global referrals? I just call the
God.
doctor and they're like, "Yeah, we take your insurance." I'm like, "See you tomorrow."
I'm so glad I don't have to hear global referral anymore.
Referrals were fucking killing me, killing me.
Me too.
Dear T. Roy, our 26-year-old married son currently lives with us. His wife of 3 years, close in age, was raised in a different culture and has recently started living with her parents in a town 4 hours away. My son has a stable, well-paying job and cannot relocate. They talk on the phone many times a day and night, and both say their marriage is fine. She doesn't work, doesn't finish anything she starts. She contributes to her family's household by using the car and money our son provides. She says she became depressed when she lived in our town, but is happy with her parents and really doesn't see moving out. We feel she's immature, controlling, and taking advantage of our son. We have told him as much. He understands he has a situation, but seems too weak to change it. What more can we do? Flustered parents in Texas.
Well, you can't do a fucking thing. It's not your life. It's his relationship. It's his marriage.
Yeah.
It's your child, but it's his relationship.
Yeah. It's tough.
You can, and
Is that a common thing, by the way? Are there?
no, at all. I mean, the married couples not living together.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, that is
I wouldn't think so either.
like an absolute anomaly.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're going through issues or separated or there's extenuating circumstances, but straight up by choice, no.
Yeah.
Maybe parents of what was their handle there? Frustrated and
flustered.
Flustered. That's what.
Flustered.
Maybe you're the reason she doesn't want to live there. Maybe she can't stand you guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Kick the bird out of the nest. Let him spread his wings and fly, and see what happens.
Yeah.
But and if it works for them, who fucking cares?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's fair to say, it was kind of a cheap shot to be like, she contributes to the marriage by spending his money and driving the car.
Well, she doesn't work, so that is a fact, essentially. But
if he makes enough to support them both,
that's
then,
true. I mean, good on you.
Yeah.
That might be what she wants. That might be their agreement.
Yeah.
But just like anything else, you get one side of this story.
Yeah.
And this isn't even directly involved. This is a mother.
That would be
chiming in.
kind of weird. Like your kid gets married and blah, blah, blah. And now she moves back in with her parents and he moves back in with
3
you.
years. It's not like they just
Yeah.
I think there might be a little more going on. Clearly.
Yeah.
But that's an odd situation. I can't imagine living 4 hours away from my new wife.
Yeah. Weird.
But she's from a different culture. Who knows? Maybe she's barely speaks the language. I don't know.
We're coming for your kids email. You played some people clearly joking. We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your kids.
Clearly.
Then tried to act like they were seriously announcing they were coming for children. This would be as stupid as someone clipping audio of you joking about going to the white meeting. Yeah, I love that joke. I haven't been in months.
No, I know.
We're overdue. Yeah. We're way overdue.
I gotta get my hood back from the cleaners.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be like someone pulling audio of you guys joking about going to a white meeting after feeling accused of being a racist and pretending you were serious. If you were joking about it, I guess I missed the humor. Is that the largest thing joked about in the alphabet community right now? Of course it is. The right has been throwing a hissy fit and demonizing them, especially transgendered people, for the past 10 years. I don't have any close friends that are trans, but I did speak to a trans friend of a friend recently. My question, so what do you do when you're not grooming the right's children? They quickly replied, not much. It really consumes all my time. We had a laugh and moved on to have a real conversation. Is that a common joke in that community? Of course it is. After the daily fear-mongering, slowly shaken, thumbs down. That's from Ed.
Would have guessed. I mean, hey, you can spin it any way you want. You can. Were you there? Were you chanting it? Were you kidding? No, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, sure. And I even made that comment the first time we said it because they said something else in the chant after that.
Right. We're not going shopping or
we're
something.
We're not going to Target or whatever it was, something like that.
Exactly.
So I said, okay, that lends credibility to them joking.
Right.
But at the same time, you're the one out there saying it in public, joking or not, it's a bad look, which was more the point of all of it.
Yeah.
And if you truly believe...
It wasn't a bad look. It was a fucking horrible look.
Yes, exactly.
And if you just go, oh, you're afraid. You're on the right. You're afraid. Well, why would you want to fearmonger people anyways?
Exactly.
Why would you joke about someone else's children? And by the way, Ed, there's a fuckload of videos I could send you where they're absolutely not joking. And they're talking about, caregivers. Parents are caregivers and nothing more. Yeah. Don't tell them. Don't tell the parents. That's what they're trying to do. Why? Why would you not want to tell the parents what the fuck you're up to in kindergarten, first, second, third grade?
You have no rights to those children. The parents do.
You don't. And so it's not a funny joke. And I find everything funny. When you start fucking with people's kids, you're going to find out that it's not funny.
No.
And I know trans people too, and they can joke about stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
And a lot of them, Ed, think it's fucking crazy bullshit that this is going on. They do. And you go, oh, the right's been freaking out for 10 years. No, it's been more like 5 years. And the reason they're freaking out, because these people always existed and nobody felt the need to freak out. It was when you started having these conversations about other people's fucking kids that you're in charge of for an hour a day that people started going, no. Why do you think these Muslim families and Christian families are getting together on these school grounds?
Because they're transphobic.
All over the country demanding this nonsense stop. It's not because they hate people. Do you think I hate trans people, Ed? No, I don't at all. I think this is dangerous. And if it's a fucking joke, you're joking about the wrong shit to the wrong people. Yeah. You just are.
Like I said, OJ running around joking about, haha, I did it.
Yeah.
Would that work out well? Would that pan well? No,
hilarious.
It would not. And the Biden thing was a good example of that too. When he made a joke, which was amazing.
Yeah,
when he made a joke about selling the secrets, and that was a clip that was shared all over.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, he admits to treason. Impeach him now. We saw through that. That's clearly a joke.
It's nonsense.
Okay. No, we didn't glom onto that and take the low fucking hanging fruit and stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Take that seriously. No, but again.
And Ed, your anecdotal evidence of talking to one trans friend of a friend. Yeah, great. That's scientific.
Yeah.
You believe in science more than almost anyone I know, Ed. And I'll tell you this. I fucking love Ed Grabo.
100%.
I do. He's one of the sweetest, most generous, kindest people I've ever met. He's a wonderful person.
Yeah,
I think the discussion we had yesterday was quite open, actually. I think we were trying to give some benefit of the doubt, but I think you're arguing the wrong thing with this. We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. in light of today, what's going on is not smart.
Yeah.
It's
But they're
not, and gay people are writing articles about it. I read the article to you.
They're in their own bubble.
Right.
Like that was for those their people. That was in that moment there. Haha, we're joking. And I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a big difference between them joking about it, which whether they were or they weren't is irrelevant.
Right.
It's still happening.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to deny that?
Yeah.
Do you think that this exponential spike in trans children? Let's be very clear about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Trans children is completely organic.
How many child mastectomies are okay, too? How many?
All of them, apparently.
I mean, how many children getting mastectomies is okay before you go, wait a minute, hold on.
And what rate of regret is acceptable?
We'll never know because they fucking shadow ban the shit out of those people.
Yeah.
They just do. So, Ed, I adore you. I love you.
Thank you for writing the show.
And thank you for writing the show. Walters at DetroitCast.com. Love hearing from you. I love hearing from everybody. But I think in this instance, I think, Ed, you have changed my mind on some things. I can't, off the top of my head, recall. You've made me think about things in a different way that I wasn't thinking about, and I appreciate that. I love all my liberal friends for that. I love talking to Raj off the air and, lots of people that have differing opinions than me that will give me more background and insight into something that you're not going to get on media.
And that's what needs to happen, are those conversations.
Exactly.
And that's not, but it doesn't happen. People
Right.
are just shut down. People are condemned. People are mocked. People are villainized
Right.
for differing opinions as opposed to having an open dialogue
Right.
and finding common ground on things and learning about each other and different, because nobody knows anything about everything.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anything about anything, really.
Yeah.
I talked about this with my epiphany I had on the fucking mushrooms. Nobody knows anything because the only thing that you know is what somebody else has told you.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing that you know is what somebody else has told you.
Yeah, but Ed's
Outside
friend of a
few-
friend is trans. That's
right.
he's
So
done the research.
Where you get your information dictates what you know.
Yeah.
And what you believe.
Right.
And that's across the board.
And
all
we're
people,
all
all
biased.
sides. No.
We're all looking
well, exactly.
to fucking
That's my point.
further our arguments. I get it.
Exactly right. So you can defend both sides of any argument.
Yeah.
Intelligently and legitimately, if that's what but that doesn't take away the validity of the opposition. That's where we've lost our fucking minds.
Right.
You can have your opinion and it can be valid, but that doesn't invalidate somebody else's opinion or the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
And that's where we've lost our way.
And would you admit, Ed, that that's probably a stupid chant to have going on in light of everything you've seen, in light of, just peruse libs of TikTok.
But that's what you don't get, Mike. That's why they said it, because that's what's going on.
Right.
That's the argument
Yeah,
for
but
it.
that's a stupid fucking...
Totally agree.
It's dumb.
It's
and
just-
by
it's
the
tone
way,
deaf.
I watched the video. They didn't appear to be joking. They looked deadly fucking serious. And you can watch the San Francisco
Again, that
Gay
was
Men's Choir.
That was a 10-second clip of a snippet.
Yeah.
Could have been the only
Tim
time they
Cass
said
got
it.
that,
Could have been the
actually.
only time they said it the whole day. Who knows?
I doubt it.
But it could be.
Sure.
In the sake of
and
being
would that
fair.
matter? If
Maybe,
they only
because if
said
they
it-
were doing that and they were going through, we're not going shopping, we're not eating Chick-fil-A, we're not going to Hobby Lobby, we're coming for your children. If they were going over a whole bunch of things like that, then okay, maybe, sure.
Or if there
But
was
we didn't get that video.
If there was context and someone says, "Hey, everybody on the right thinks you're coming for their children," and then they all laughed and went, "That's so absurd. Hey, we're here.
Yeah.
We're queer. We're coming for your children." Like, okay, then you could go, "Yeah, they're mocking that," but they looked really serious when they were saying it. They looked angry, and the Gay Men's Choir, like, "Oh, they've been doing this for years," is not a good argument. That's not a good argument.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right?
That's
They've been
actually,
saying that, coming for your kids for years.
That's a better argument for us.
right. That's not
Not us.
It's not the fucking win you think it is.
No.
So, anyways, I love Ed, but follow up with us. Tell me where we're wrong. Tell me what you think. I'll read your email in full. I won't edit you. Facebook, listening to episode 1759, you're talking about getting Facebook friend requests and all that shit for this sudden surge in interest in the cast.
Yes, please, somebody have an answer.
I have had a friend request in with you for ages, no action. So I just, Thursday morning at 6:19, sent T-Roy a friend request. Maybe he'll pay attention. And yes, once you listen to JFK Jr. for a while, his voice gets easier. Have a good day, Steve.
I accepted your friend request, Steve.
Did you?
Yep.
See, here's my policy. I have a shitload of friend requests that I haven't responded to, and a lot of them are either duplicates or they're the chick's way too fucking hot.
Oh yeah,
and young. Like those are those. I'm not even playing with that.
Nope.
Because I know there's not a fucking 23-year-old smoke show listening to us. I mean, no offense to you ladies out there. Some of you are, but they're not Facebook friending me. And the ones that I click on, if you have one follower or you're following two people and we don't have any common friends.
If there's zero mutuals.
And you don't list any sort of employment history or school history, it looks like spam. It looks like that. So
it is.
Believe me, if I see someone in it and it says, hey, you're Red Wings fan, currently living out of state, and I went to this school and I work here. If you look like a real person, I will accept your friend request. I accept everybody. My Facebook
Apparently
is not my. Yeah, and you know what, Steve? I'll go through my shit and see if I can find you.
I realized that too when I saw that one. It just popped up, and a lot of this stuff is just whatever. It's just parked in the drive-through and think about it. And my philosophy's changed quite a bit too because I coming into this, I'm a very private person. Right?
Yeah.
And I get Jay's whole issue with and a lot of that stuff. And
fuck
Jay
the book.
Detroit cast and things like that to separate.
Sure.
So I was very cautious coming into that because that's my family, that's my kids, that's all that kind of stuff. So when this started, I got a lot of friend requests immediately from listeners and things like that. And it was no disrespect, but I didn't let people into that world because that's my private personal thing.
Right.
I didn't have a separate thing. So if I didn't know you, if I'd never met you, if we didn't have any kind of a relationship, I didn't accept it.
Right.
Okay. Just because of what I did doing this didn't make us Facebook friends.
Right.
And it was no disrespect intended. It was my own privacy, my own.
Sure.
thing.
Beth did the same thing. Beth accepted 100 friend requests right away. You know, when I talk about her, and then she was like, "I
So
can't do
if I knew you or I recognized your name or something, okay, and that's sort of changed, over time. Now I kind of understand it, and to be able to interact with people and stuff like that. But I also realized when I did that one that there's a lot that are still parked in the drive-through, from before that have just been sitting that I haven't gone through.
Yeah.
So anybody that did send me a request that I didn't do, don't ever take it personally. But that was my process of it. Was like if we'd never met or had a conversation or any real interaction, it was just that if our only mutuals were you and Eric, and a couple other listeners or something, then was like, okay, I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got to
need
understand. Troy is
very private,
very private, and new to the entertainment industry. So it's not, Beth went through this, and it was funny for me to see because before doing this show out of my house, I worked with only people in entertainment, and so the whole thing was get as many people, blah, blah, blah. Like our Facebook interactions and all that were totally different than most people. And so it was funny to me. I was like, when Beth started freaking out about it and was like, I don't mean to be mean or rude, but I can't accept, 200 people on Facebook that I don't know and they're from the show and a lot of people, no offense, will reference shit that's kind of dark.
Yeah.
On other people's Facebooks, and it's like, my mom reads this.
I had that regret when I kind of started opening up and letting people in, and then I would post things, and I would get comments on it, off-color comments, things like that weren't pertinent. That you don't really get to chime in on my daughter's birthday or some kind of she looks hot. You know what I mean? Like okay, like cross the line kind of a thing. And so then I reeled it back in. I blocked a few people. I shut it down. Was like, okay, well, no, I regret it.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's people have been okay, but that's the reality of it. And I'm getting used to this. Is so foreign to me.
Yeah, it's so foreign
to me.
Yeah. Believe me, it gets worse.
Yeah.
So, hang on.
I know. Like, people are like, hey, like they know me. Like
they do.
I know. Well, I know.
That's the weird part, and I get that from people a lot, and they act like it's weird. They're like, look, man, I listen to you every day. I feel like I fucking know you intimately, and I open up about everything. My parents, my family, my doctor's shit. Like,
and he
so-
was the same way. People feel like they just have just inside,
Right.
You know them on the most personal
Yeah.
and intimate level.
Took me a long time to realize Drew does not do that. If you really think about it and you listen to Drew Lane, he does not tell you a lot of personal shit
exactly.
at all, And so some people are like that, some people are not. And no harm and no foul with that. So
Nope, definitely.
you accepted his friend request. I will look forward, or send me another one. Send me another one so it pops up and I'll accept
You're
your
gonna
friend
get
request.
blasted. Everybody's gonna rescind it and then resend it. You're gonna get 400 new requests.
Yeah. Well, I hate seeing friend requests and then 2 days later see a Facebook post from someone going, "If you got a friend request from me, don't touch it.
That's
don't
true,
open
too.
it." It's like,
Yep.
fuck. I thought I was already friends with Scott Randall. Why is he sending me a friend request again?
Exactly. I'll never accept a duplicate.
No. All right, everybody. Let's wrap it there, T. Thanks everybody for listening this week. I don't know what. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. Maybe we won't. I don't know what you got going on, but yeah,
We'll see. We'll fill in some Patreon stuff.
There you go. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed our show, especially Ed Grabo. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you, Ed.